DCS World VSN Super Sabre. Um, I saw the YouTube video. It looks like it's released today or updated today. So I thought I'd give it a flight. I really like the F100. I've flown it before in other flight sims, and DCS World, it's a really good place to fly mods. So I thought I'd give this one a try. And I have to say, the looks are great. The weapons loadout is fantastic. But I see myself here on the runway sitting in a lock-on modern air combat F-15. And the reason I say that is 'cause I played lock-on modern air combat from day one. I played it hours and hours. I really like the game. So it has that pit. The exterior is definitely original, and it looks good. The plane has a very generous weapons loadout. It's got everything from AGM 45s to rockets, iron bombs, and air-to-air missiles, heat seekers. The 9P, I think. But I have an issue with this HUD, and I don't think the F100 had a HUD. Maybe you Air Force guys can help me out on that. But you need the HUD, because I couldn't really read the flight gauges. The takeoff is a bit squirrely, but you do get that feel of an early jet takeoff. And another plus for me was the nose dragged downward. And that's okay because I mapped the trim switches on my stick and it worked. I got plane level, and I like stuff like that. But going back to lock-on modern air combat, a lot of things got my memory thinking. The 7 key was the air to ground, and the 2 key was air to air, and the 1 key was navigation mode. And then to cycle through your weapons, or to use your weapons, you select in the HUD, the bottom section, the pylon. So I have the outboard AGM 45 Shrike selected, and you do so through a series of pylon switches, and you map those, and that's okay too. You got the gun pipper for ground showing up, and you have dogfight mode, another switch you can map. So the aircraft will go to air to ground and air to air, just like that. For this particular mission, as stated earlier, AGM 45s, we're going to take on a SAM site. And we know where it's at. I'll just say it. It's just a test. And I don't think the F100 had a RWR. The cockpit is non-clickable. I don't have a problem with that either. You can map all your needed functions and be off and running. Another great thing is it has countermeasures. chaff and flare or both. And let's take a look at some of the commands. The zoom view, throttle, all that regular stuff. It's all there and real easy to set up through the game's control setup options. But the mouse, you can see as you move it over items, it won't turn green. So there's no cockpit clickable functions. It has a SAM warning light. If you go to air-to-air, key number 2, you'll hear the growl of the Sidewinders. And you'll also get the computating gun sight when you're in position 2, which is kind of neat. It's like you're going into dogfight mode. So our target is just offset to our left. It's a SA6 sight and one AAA battery. And we're going to see if the F-100 detects it. I'm going to turn in. And we're going to fly just slightly offset, but we're going to let them know we're here. Now the Community A4 Skyhawk carries the AGM-45, and the seeker will detect the tracking radar emission. All right, so we got a detection. We turn towards the known position, and we hear an audible warning. But that's it. No growl from the AGM-45. We turned nose up. We're nose up to it by looking at the RWR. And we're just trying to get in range. We don't want to waste our shots. We're looking at 20 miles, but we want to get a little bit closer for accuracy. So we're pretty confident we're nose up. So we're going to send an AGM-45 out, and it tracks because it goes vertical. But we're going to get in a little closer and send off number 2. Hopefully that one will be the one that takes out the SA6 radar. It also tracks. Now we're going to turn away roughly 90 degrees out to avoid a SAM-6 launch at us, or we'll be able to evade it being at extreme range. And our AGM-45, we're on target. And there's our countermeasures. They work. So the AGM-45s hit the radar. There's the target area. So that was pretty successful. I guess it's just a different way about going at things. So we're just able to detect the radar through our SAM warning light and then use the RWR to get its position. Whereas the Community A4, you have to kind of move the nose around and hear that audible tone. But anyway, it worked, and that was good. Gave you that sense of we can compete with these guys. All right. Another surprise is for a new a mod that the radio works. And
In field 1-1. Request landing.
we were able to get clearance to land and the compass direction. That was pretty impressive. And right now we're on final. So what I had to do was put out the air brake, gear down, and flaps down. And you really feel the weight of the aircraft. And I criticize the HUD, but you really need that velocity vector and the speed display on the left. Because if you can't read your gauges, it'd be extremely difficult to land this thing. So we're all lined up. We got the proper speed and descent. Get over the airfield. We throttle down and just lift the nose up. And just a great landing. Nailed it. So the landing also gives you a great sense of accomplishment. You really got to hang on to the stick and make adjustments, or things can go south fast in this airplane. But we had it under control. We also geared down, brakes, and we're not going to overshoot the runway. This plane also has nose wheel steering. To turn on the HUD, you have to map the keys to do so.
Enfield 1-1. Taxi to parking area.
Keyboard commands are Control, Shift, and H. The colors Control and H. And once you get your nose wheel steering, you can taxi off the runway. I'm going to move forward to the parking area. The taxiing seems pretty simple. Nose wheel steering, and you got to use your right and left brakes to assist. Get our canopy open. Look at that. They really did a good job on the graphics. Well, guys, I'm gonna give this one and I really like modders. They are my heroes, but this one is just not ready for prime time, and that's me. You may like this. I encourage you to give it a try. We scored our hits, successful mission, but I'm just not going to put the effort into it. This plane just leaves you exhausted. And I just got another mod, the AB10, and I can't get enough of it. But this plane, it's just too much work. The lock-on cockpit just bothers me, and it's like you're using the same lock-on key commands. Not to take away from the modders, it is really an accomplishment. Anyway, guys, I hope you watched this video. Do give the plane a try. It really feels like early jet aviation. Well, guys, thanks for watching. Like, hate, subscribe. We'll see you up again soon.